AskReddit. What is the most Nsfw thing you have seen at an office gathering or party? Welcome to WtfRedd, the only Askreddit channel that will blow your mind. Like and subscribe right now to support Pepe's career as an independent musician. Worked at Polish retirement home. Christmas party every year is held in the residence party room. Approximately 30 late 40s/early 50s Polish women pounded back the vodka like they shouldn't have been alive afterwards. Many insane things each year. Always some passed out. Always some of them competed to get the attention of the one and only male, the crazy drunk maintenance man. And always at least one person ended up crying. Once they all happened at once. Nurses got blasted. Maintenance dude got blasted. Nurses had him sit with them at one of the tables. They played some weird ass drinking game as best I could tell. They would make out with him, then take a shot after. Then they all cheer. Eventually I hear chanting and look over. One of the girls is on her knees now, quite sure she blowing him, except the chanting sounds more like yelling. Look closer, she doesn't seem to be moving. One of the other women is moving too. I wasn't sure. Help the other one suck him off. Nope. She grabs the girl under the shoulders and pulls her off the guy's dick, and I hear horrible coughing, and the girl lands on her back. The guy's dick is at full mast as he bursts out crying. The guy starts muttering something about how he almost killed her. He's bawling. Dick is still out and waving around. The girl/woman is on the floor and coughing, but one of the other nurses tries to give her mouth to mouth. Far as I could tell, I think the head giver passed out sucking the guy and choked on his cock, but was out so cold she was just gonna die. So someone tries to do CPR on the now conscious woman and milliseconds dick sucker doesn't want or need it. So they start fighting/wrestling on the ground and the chanting starts again. Dude is still crying with his dick out, but now he's standing over them yelling, "Don't fight over me." Now this is all during the day and there are other workers on shift. Cause the place doesn't shut down just cause of the party. So in burst a couple of sober nurses to help. Someone had radioed them for help cause of the person choking on cock. They burst in and yell what the fuck, and then the dude with his dick out turns around and faces them, and both scream and run out of the room. Good times. We bought our boss sexy Santa lingerie as a gag gift. She tried it on in front of us and proceeded to do a striptease dance, all the while screaming out how her husband was going to love this. She's 54. Edit. I worked at a call center. I'm a female, was 16 years old at the time, so the answer was /stillies. No, I did not particularly enjoy it. First Christmas party at a tech startup. Go to the bathroom towards the end of the night. Realize mid-pass that the sounds coming from the stall next mine are the CTO and his wife going at it. Step out of the stall and the CEO and some sales guys are doing lines. CEO sees me and shouts, "Hey, it's Jard." My name isn't Jard. He called me Jard for about 6 MOs after that until I pulled him aside and corrected him one day. Fun times. We had a Mardi Gras themed holiday party. One guy decided to bring his saxophone and be a jazz man. Normal enough, right? Well, he also thought that to be a jazz man, he needed to show up in blackface. Luckily, this is rural Wisconsin and no one at the company was black, so we all just got really drunk and told him he's an idiot. Luckily, this is rural Wisconsin and no one at the company was black. Honestly not sure if this makes it better or worse. Didn't witness this one, but heard that this happened just a few months before I was hired. We had a wine tasting for the managers with just some cheese, minor hors d'oeuvres, etc. One particular manager got completely sloshed on wine and got super flirty with another manager from a different department who was significantly younger and good looking. At some point, this young lady put some scented lotion on her hands. Smelling this, the drunk manager came over to her and pulled his dick out and asked her to put some lotion on there too. Right in the middle of the room and tasting. I heard he was gone instantly. He was recently found out to currently be a tour guide on a duck boat, and a bad one at that. Work party. One guy took a sheet in the toilet, followed by grabbing the vacuum cleaner and sucking it all up. Our company Christmas party had a tequila ice luge. One of our class A drivers got so wasted he was doing flips on the dance floor and juggling Corona bottles. Then he went and sat on a 19-year-old girl's lap and her mom went ballistic. He was kicked out and proceeded to drive himself home. What a guy. Edit. Let me answer a couple of questions. It's a rock and roll type company, so heavy drinking is accepted. Not driving drunk though. Both mom and daughter work for the company and are quite bitchy. Driver is late 30s. He drove for the circus 4 years and apparently picked up a couple tricks along the way. The worst part of him driving was the company paid for Ubers to and from the party. Oh, and no, not Wisconsin. Used to work for a big bank. We had a little potluck for Christmas, and long story short, about 2 hours later, someone cheated in the bathroom and smeared it literally, and I mean literally, all over the bathroom stalls, the wall, the stall door handle, the toilet sensor, ducking everywhere. It looked like a XXL Hershey bar stepped on an IED. We never did quite catch the elusive poop handle bandit. Legend says he's still out there, ravaging the latrines of financial institutions to this day. I saw a woman squirt champagne from her vagina into the mouth of the woman who'd juicy inserted a champagne bottle into said vagina. I worked as a porn editor at the time, so it was appropriate to the situation. Went out for drinks with coworkers after service. It was a lunch-focused restaurant, and by the end of the night, one of our cashiers decided to lactate on me from across the table. I went to a customer's holiday party. It was a bit of a good old boy company, so it was at the shop and mostly drinking and grilling with funny awards. It was mandatory and had a dress code, so all these guys were as cleaned up as they could get, but in clothes that didn't fit right anymore / ever and whatnot. Also a sausage fest, since women are rare in industry and most, if the guys were bachelors. The guys drank like it was water in the desert and decided to move it to a local bar they frequent. Well, that bar was hosting the holiday party for a lab and was a total clam bake until we showed up. You mix drunk nerdy girls and drunk manly men, and you end up with a lot of finger banging, and it ain't discreet. It was a match made in heaven. Absolutely no fallout. The female bartender was egging them on and the boss men had gone to a different bar. They often ran into those girls at lunch there, but there were no repeat performances. Karaoke started with 2 assistants, both women, doing a ballad together in rapid succession on the stage, and with plenty of drinks between, the following things happened. Those 2 women sing a few songs while clutching each other and giggling the entire time. Some less than wholesome dancing together to a George Michael song. Remaining on the stage, one of them sits in a rolling chair while the other serenades / gives a lap dance to her to Santa Baby. At this point, another woman in the office decides it's best to throw some cold water on this party by cutting off the karaoke and play a Christmas music CD. First song is All I Want for Christmas Is You. The 2 women turn this into what seems like the perfect song to sexy slow dance to. Much caressing and grinding happening. They are finally broken up once they start making out and light groping each other while trying to hide behind a Santa hat that one of them is holding up, covering their faces. My assistant gave a blowjob to one of my bosses at a bus stop while her boyfriend smoked cigars with our coworkers. His suspicions were confirmed when his girlfriend showed up with breath that smelled like a Christmas bonus. Worked in a warehouse for a while. We had regular awards nights where we'd all get ducked up and hand out stupid awards like Driver of the Year for the person who had the worst forklift accident or who crashed a work car. Other things of note: doing lines with the boss off his desk every party, married co-workers banging in the car park, the mentally handicapped and very drunk cleaner getting wrapped in packing tape by 3 guys, having forklift races in the aisles of the warehouse, forklifts being driven by guys who are plastered, using forklifts to lift each other to the roof of the warehouse. I don't miss my old job, but damn I miss the parties. Coworker threw his desk chair out of a 4-story window after having a few too many. Christmas party. Married our woman had an orgy with 5 of the warehouse workers. All still work there. Our woman is still married. Edit. Alright, my mistake. It was a gangbang, not an orgy. As far as I know. Sorry. Last year's work Christmas party. One woman, known for overdrank. She came to sit at the table I was at and proceeded to sit down, where their WSS no chair, straight on her ass. Later that night she was grinding on one of the boss's girlfriends and apparently tried to talk the boss and his girl into a 3-way. She is still confused why she didn't get the promotion she was going for at the time. that would have granted her a company credit card and had her taking clients out to dinners. I was the one who started giving him head in the middle of the party. It's okay though, we are still together to this day. That is one lucky maintenance man. A group of girls brigaded the Christmas party pretty hard. They show up wearing prom dresses and 20 minutes later, the most smashed, if the girls is out back with her prom dress hiked up above her waist, panties at her knees, bent over taking it from some dude. This set the tone for the rest of the night. Marriages were unintentionally put on hold, so drunken cowwalkers could gain carnal knowledge of each other. Many walks of shame the following day. You guys hiring? I worked at Macca's, and we had a work party. Some of the crew volunteered to run the night shift, while the rest of us went 10-pin bowling and drank scrumpies. I was a manager, so I got to see the camera footage the next day. It was of me, walking around the restaurant and kitchen with my pants down, shaping my balls to look like a brain, and making people look at my taut scrot. There were also brown eyes and squash strats, which is where you press your dick and balls up against the glass. That was me in the drive-thru window. I woke up horrified and knew I was in trouble. There was a small fallout. I miraculously didn't get fired. No one formally complained. My punishment was to wash car windows as they went through drive-thru on my day off and donate the tips to the Ronald McDonald House charity. When I was a teenager, I volunteered to DD at a fancy dinner for the local RCMP detachment. Police had some bigwigs from provincial headquarters and such. I think it was like the station's 50th anniversary or something similar. Jesus Christ. One cop got on stage with the band and started singing. Was really good actually. One female cop dancing on a table broke it and went face first into the floor. Kept on partying. Once the blood stopped. There was a young new cop that year. Ripped good looking guy. So this guy was getting panties thrown at him left, right and center. Driving him and his current date home, they ducked in the back seat. He slipped me $20 and told me I saw nothing. I saw everything. Next trip the cop and his wife were drunk but nothing outrageous. But as they were getting out, he casually tossed what ended up being a pair of thong panties into the front seat and saying something I didn't quite hear. I assumed they were from the previous couple, and my favorite was driving one of the high-ranking police officers in my province back to his hotel, and he just fell over as I rounded a curve. Like a tree. Unconscious. Had to get hotel staff to help drag him out. Now imagine all this with Mounties, dressed in their red serge. And these are just the things I saw. My buddies who wedding have similar tales. Hard to take a cop seriously when he's giving you a ticket for speeding in a car you watched him finger a girl's as in. A bunch of people from the office decided to get together and head to a foam party. One of the girls got white girl wasted and stripped down to nothing but her panties and danced on one of the tables. Made for an interesting night. When I used to work for a large corporate law firm, a guy and a girl who both worked in the accounts team got in an argument. One thing led to another and the girl threw her glass of red wine over his white shirt. Without missing a beat, he just grabbed her by the throat and started choking her. This was just off the side of the dance floor, in front of 300 plus staff. Thanks for tuning in for this WtfRedd episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the one and only Askreddit channel that will blow your mind every time.